everybody, and welcome back to Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath, and our featured matchup for the day brings us to the map Tournament Decision. And spawning down in the bottom left position as the purple vanilla scrin, we have OneVISION. And his opponent up in the upper right-hand corner, the man you know and love playing as the green ZCM. Yes, that's right, you heard me right, it's gonna be ZCM. We have Death-Sentence. So Death-Sentence versus OneVISION here on Decision. And ZCM being featured for like the 450th time in a row, I believe, here on the channel. So, gonna be getting some love. Nice to be seeing that faction around anyways. But a quick note before we jump too far into this game, I'm gonna be uploading brand new videos every Tuesday and Thursday every single week, so you guys will have plenty of content to eat right up, and hopefully it will be on a more regular schedule so you guys can kind of expect what will be coming. But anyways, not going to be seeing any engineer snipes here. It doesn't look like it anyways. It could be Death-Sentence. If he's paying attention, he could potentially snipe that squad. Nope, there are, I think, more than one squad there. Yep, there's going to be more than one squad there, so not going to be seeing that engineer going down. Would have been a little bit late to get to the Tiberium Spike anyways. But anyways, it looks like both of these guys are going to be grabbing their Tiberium Spikes without too many shenanigans this time around, so it's going to be OneVISION on that vanilla scrin. So vanilla scrin we don't see played too often, obviously not as good as the good old Traveler 59. And honestly, I think I would prefer Reaper 17 over scrin. I mean, depending on the matchup, but I would definitely prefer to see that pop up in a random v random matchup. But anyways, Death-Sentence is going to be drawing that ZCM faction. It looks like these guys are just going for standard eco play here early game. Pretty standard here on Tournament Decision. You don't really see all that much crazy stuff, especially from these two factions. Not exactly the most prominent early game rushes in the game. Could have seen an early tier 2, possibly tier 3 out of OneVISION into maybe Mechapeds or something. But we're going to be seeing him moving out. Zone Shatter is obviously a pretty big deal to deal with there if Death-Sentence decided to go for those. So maybe not going to be seeing too many of those Mechapeds. It is a pretty choke pony map, so don't mind me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyways, looks like OneVISION going to be opting to go for maybe a quicker expand, but no, he deploys his MCV, or rather his drone platform, once again. And maybe going to be looking to go for a bit of a quicker tier 2, realizing that Death-Sentence has not packed up his MCV yet. So I suspect Death-Sentence is going to be a little bit quicker here on getting out some additional buildings here. But no, it is going to be a base creep coming in from OneVISION. He does have that tier 2 down. Meanwhile, Death-Sentence working on that third refinery. By the looks of it, it's taking too long to be that tier 2, and there it is. There's the third refinery. So 3 and 7, I believe, is the ratio here on Tournament Decision. It's going to be a second Warp Sphere coming out from OneVISION, so very interesting. Likely going to be seeing Devourer tanks coming out for him. That's what you would expect tier 2 for. And we'll have to see exactly what it's going to be here, but just going to be seeing a Rifleman Squad shooting up a garrison. Ooh, actually Rifleman Squad going to be able to juke out. Oh my god. Happy feet. I think the buzzers actually broke their ankles right there. They got juked so hard. But anyways, we're going to be seeing, again, just standard eco play here from these guys. Really nothing too aggressive. The only thing that was kind of aggressive here was the double Warp Sphere coming out from OneVISION, but we haven't really seen much come out. We've only just now seen a Seeker tank or 2 come out, and now it's going to be a couple of Devourer tanks. It looks like they do have a garrisoned up buzzer squad, so that they can maybe look to come through the middle and try to clear out some of these garrisons. Not a bad idea at all there coming out from OneVISION. Unfortunately going to waste a shot there on that garrison. Likely does put this on hold fire stance, since he doesn't want that Devourer tank to be wasting its charge there. But he will get the clear out on that garrison. The combined buzzer does manage to clear that out. A couple of Rifleman squads continuing to suppress that buzzer there, but a Seeker tank going to be coming in, just trying to get some vision to see what Death-Sentence is up to. You don't want to be leaving them unscouted. It is going to be double airfield Hammerhead coming in from Death-Sentence. He already has AP ammo and ceramic armor, so that's going to be devastating once that is fully upgraded. But we do have the tech assembler down here for OneVISION. No shards on the way here, and it doesn't look like he has much in the way of anti-air, so I can't imagine that he's actually seen this just yet. Otherwise, he would be producing some anti-air, maybe some gun walkers, maybe be working on that shard upgrade. He must be expecting something here in the near future, but we do have Mechapeds actually coming out now. Pretty early for those guys to be out on the field. Nice to see them rolling around. And they're going to be joining in with the Devourer tank, so likely going to be the anti-air choice here. Likely going to be seeing disc segments. It's a little bit tough to tell. Actually, I think they do have shard segments. They do have shard segments. So no disc segments here just yet. Death-Sentence is massing up that massive Hammerhead army here. as he's going to be flying over the top here, and now he's going to be able to get in here. He should be able to clean up this entire force. No, there are disc segments on that mecha bead, so they should be able to deal with this. No, they get immediately sniped down, so very good focus fire there coming in from Death-Sentence, and the phase field being used on these Devourer tanks to keep them alive for just a touch longer. But however, Death-Sentence is now going to move into the base of OneVISION, going to be looking to go for an opportunity to kill off some Harvesters, realizing that that phase field is down. These Harvesters are probably as good as dead. Does need to be careful of plasma missile batteries, however, he does not have shard launchers upgraded just yet, so they are not quite as devastating as you would normally expect them to be. Could look to snipe the power here. This could be pretty devastating if he manages to take down the power. And shard launchers are online now, so he needs to knock that power offline very quickly, but the power micro is coming in here from OneVISION. He's doing a great job. And now a couple of hammerheads have gone down. These hammerheads are kind of trapped here. I think they should probably just cut and run before too many more anti-air defenses come down. Death-Sentence, in the meantime, has expanded down to his natural expansion. Going to be looking to get up that eco. Repair drones being called in on the front lines. They're likely going to be getting some vision, but the construction yard now going to be under fire here from a couple of Annihilator tripods. Meanwhile, where are those hammerheads at? They are actually focusing down the Tiberium spike. However, they need to be responding to these tripods. There's nothing here to actually defend this MCV. Only a small force here from Death-Sentence going to be rolling up. Going to be pretty late to the party, though. Luckily manages to get down the sonic fence there to keep that alive a little bit longer, and he should actually be able to hold the line with this force if he manages to keep these squads alive. Oh, but the Buzzer Swarm support power really doing work there for OneVISION. He is going to get the kills on the majority of these Predator tanks. However, it's the infantry that he needs to deal with right now. MCV is still alive, and it looks like the tripods are going to be falling back now. Tripods go down, and meanwhile, we do have the hammerheads going down in the mix. They are taking down some remaining harvesters here from OneVISION. So a pretty messy early game here, or rather a mid-game, I guess, as we're headed into that. I think we're a couple minutes in, not quite sure. We don't have a timer. I wish we had a timer. Maybe that's the next thing we'll think about. But anyways, Devastator warships already coming out here for OneVISION, so going to be seeing an artillery advantage coming in favor of OneVISION. And Death-Sentence needs to make sure that he can deal with those Devastator warships, and he's going to likely have to respond to those with Firehawks, as he doesn't really have any other means of getting in there and dealing with them. Could potentially be looking to get out some of those, oh god, Shatterer tanks. No, not Shatterer tanks. Holy cow, I completely, I don't know the word. I don't know the word. The anti-air tanks for ZOCOM. Can't believe I'm drawing a blank on this. But anyways, we won't worry about it too much. It looks like Bloodhounds were called in here back in the original main base of OneVISION. However, shard launchers are going to deal with them pretty easily. They absolutely eviscerate this army, as we see both the APCs and the Pitbulls getting chewed up. And now the entire fight is taking place here, as we do see a couple of Devastator warships going down here. Firehawks didn't manage to take that one down, and the Marv is canceled just before it manages to come out, and it looks like OneVISION is feeling pretty good about that. He's going to be sitting here with just that lone Devastator warship, likely going to be falling back for some repairs. He does manage to fall back for repairs. Meanwhile, Death-Sentence does have 3 Firehawks, likely going to be working on a 4th here, as he does want to get that 4th Firehawk. And Ceramic Armor Firehawk's pretty good if he can manage to get in here, get the shots off, and then Stratofighter out. They should be able to tank enough damage to get the rockets off that they need to. However, more and more of these anti-air defenses coming down here from OneVISION, realizing that that is pretty much the only way he's going to be able to protect these Devastator warships. However, more anti-air batteries being dropped on the front lines. Really no answers to those coming out from OneVISION. Meanwhile, it looks like the Orca Strike going to be coming in just to get vision on this area, maybe get a test of those anti-air defenses. Firehawks fly in, but they manage to Stratofighter back out before taking too much damage. And none of them do go down. 4 Firehawks still alive. I don't know if they managed to get any bombs off. I didn't see too much. But we do have a couple of Devastator warships still alive here. It looks like they managed to take down the AA batteries. Almost called them plasma missile batteries. But no tungsten shell here coming in from Death-Sentence, at least not yet. I don't know if that's going to be on the cards for him, or if he's going to rely completely on those Firehawks. May very well rely on those Firehawks. But anyways, we do have a veteran Devastator warship here, so that's actually going to be pretty devastating if it manages to get in and continue to pound away on this base. Sonic Emitter coming down here from Death-Sentence, maybe expecting a Hexapod or something to be coming in here. I'm kind of surprised by the choice to drop a Sonic Emitter. I'm not sure what he saw, and maybe just trying to deal with this Annihilator tripod preemptively, but unfortunately, that's just going to be cannon fodder for these Devastator warships. Maybe trying to draw these Devastator warships out, as we don't know where the Firehawks are. It looks like they're coming back in now. Devastator warships are a bit out of position here. It looks like they will be going down. Almost manages to take down both of those Devastator warships, but only manages to take down one. Another one is pretty heavily damaged. Both Devastator warships going to be falling back for repairs. However, the tripod going to be running in here. The only thing going to be standing in its way going to be the lone sonic emitter. Second sonic emitter does come down. Immediately gets focus fired down. However, he does need to be careful. OneVISION going to be getting very close to losing that. Manages to get the phase field off just before that sonic emitter shot lands. And now the Devastator warships are able to clean that up. Meanwhile, we need to see those Firehawks taken back off. They're likely going to be taken off any second. Phased tripod going to be coming in here looking for the crush. Missed an opportunity on that harvester that was just chilling there for a second. Could have potentially got a crush on that. However, Marv does come out now for Death-Sentence, so going to be getting that online. Gets a bunch of zone raiders and looks like a couple engineers in there as well. So going to be a fairly tanky but also fairly devastating Marv there if you can manage to get some rank on it. However, a Hexpod going to be coming out to try to deal with that. Meanwhile, drone ship going to be moving forward here for OneVISION. I like the aggressive move here to try to take over this expansion. However, he does need to be careful. Firehawks could look to snipe this down. Not going to be able to fire on that. However, the bombs managed to come out immediately, drop it down to half HP. I was wondering why he didn't fire on that, but that's because he was in the bomb loadout, and he manages to bring the drone platform down to half HP. However, an engineer, rather a simulator, going to be looking to run forward, maybe looking to jump into that drone platform. Does need to be careful, but the Grenadier squad could potentially get a kill on that. And the Rifleman squad microed to kill that off just at the last second, so just going to be denying that just a touch longer. However, the Firehawks could be looking to come in and get a final snipe on this drone platform. At least force the pack up here from OneVISION. Maybe that's what he's trying to bait out. It looks like he has an AA battery ready to go. However, Death-Sentence is not biting. He seems to be content with just biding his time. Should be looking to maybe expand up to the top side of the map, seeing that he doesn't really have much in the way of Tiberium to harvest at the moment. And looks like the Reclamator hub was sold off. You're going to be getting out some additional zone troopers, or rather zone raiders. And we do have Grenadier squads going to be joining the battle as well. Looks like EMP grenades going to be on the way. No, maybe, yes. I don't see any upgrades coming through, so not sure where those Grenadier squads are going. And EMP grenades finished as I was clicking on them, interestingly enough. So Grenadier squad's going to be looking to get the lockdown on that hexapod. And without any ability to teleport that around, no Mastermind or Prodigy going to be out on the field for OneVISION. So no real way to hexalame with that except for using that phase field. Tripod is caught out of position here. Manages to get teleported away as I stand corrected because it is not Reaper 17. I keep thinking this is Reaper 17, so likely could be seeing some Mastermind lame here, as we did see that tripod get teleported back instantly, so very good control there from OneVISION. Looks like Harvester is going to be long distance harvesting there for Death-Sentence. Meanwhile, where is that Marv? It looks like it is going to be standing on the front line. Where are the Firehawks? Firehawks are not taking off. They're taking off just now. Looks like they're going to be going on a bombing run here. Not sure what loadout they are in just at the moment. Barracks gets sold off here. Likely could sell off the armory too. I don't think he needs that kicking around unless he's going to be looking to go for those Tiberium field suits. That could be pretty good if he manages to go into infantry later on in the game. However, I don't know that it would necessarily be worth it. I think he's better off relying on his air power and that Marv to just tank the front line with these Grenadier squads to keep it alive. However, we do see a fair number of rocket squads coming out, so it could very well be Tiberium field suits here in the near future. But nothing coming in the way of upgrades. It looks like it has drawn to a bit of a stalemate, as OneVISION seems to be a bit cautious of moving forward. Has a tremendous amount of anti-air capability here, but is running himself dry of Tiberium as well, and doesn't seem to be able to stop Death-Sentence from actually long-distance harvesting this, realizing that those hammerheads are that constant threat. They're just sitting over the middle of the map here. It looks like Death-Sentence has managed to grab himself the EMP site, so he could potentially be looking for an EMP on that Eradicator Hexapod with some follow-up EMPs from those Grenadier squads. That would actually be pretty nice. Meanwhile, we do have a Harvester being microed up there to grab some Tiberium from that blown-up tip spike. Actually, no, that looks like it was just roaming up there on its own. And we do have the Hammerheads moving in here from Death-Sentence, looking to clean up some of this infrastructure that's unprotected by these anti-air defenses. And it looks like OneVISION is going to sell up those remaining structures that are undefended at the moment. So it gets a little bit of poke damage in there, but the anti-air defenses are spread out just so well here from OneVISION. He's going to be able to keep this base pretty well defended. Death-Sentence would take some severe losses if he decides to commit into engaging onto that stuff. So seems to be waiting out the clock here on that EMP control center. Would be looking for a potential snipe here with these Firehawks. Not sure what he's really going to be looking to bomb. It looks like it is going to be power plants. He needs to I'm sorry, not teleport, but rather Stratofighter out, and he does manage to do that. Gets all of his Firehawks home and safe. So it's going to be the war of attrition here between Death-Sentence and OneVISION, and the question is who can come through victorious. OneVISION, I think he needs to start moving forward now. Maybe look to get a stasis chamber down and look for that stasis shield opportunity where he can just lock down that Marv, clean up all the supporting units, and then just clean that Marv up. Needs to have some anti-air, mobile anti-air with him, either that or take his MCV along for the ride, as he needs to be able to deal with these with these aircraft. And it looks like the Orca Strike being used to actually draw the fire from these anti-air batteries, and then the Firehawks come in, and they do manage to get away completely scot-free. I think only one Firehawk going down there, as we do see one dead on the deck. So double deck Firehawks here coming in from Death-Sentence, and still OneVISION not really willing to commit too far forward. He does have that hex pod in a pretty menacing position at the moment, but just seems to be staring down the forces of Death-Sentence. Really not much going on here. These guys seem to be too afraid to commit into one another. Trying to teleport that back to avoid the EMP there from those Grenadier squads. And 8 Firehawks are pretty scary here coming in from Death-Sentence. Could be looking to go for a snipe on the drone ship here if he's quick enough. And will be hopefully the pack up here from OneVISION. No, he loses the drone ship. Does he have? He must still have a. He does still have his gravity stabilizer, so he's not out of the game just yet as far as production goes. But the EMP control center is ready, and it does manage to fire off on that hex pod. Now the repeat EMP is going to be coming in from the Grenadier squads. Likely going to be locking this down. Stasis shield comes down and going to be locking down the Marv. These Grenadier squads need to be absolutely perfect. They need to lock this hex pod down perfectly. But the problem is that the Mastermind is going to teleport it away the second those EMPs wear off. So there needs to be continual EMP, and I just don't think there's going to be enough. I don't think they have enough EMP ability here to lock this down. So a missed opportunity, or rather a well-played move there from OneVISION to try to force out that EMP spike, maybe not realizing that that was in Death-Sentence's hands here. But anyways, so it's going to draw back to another stalemate here, as we see Death-Sentence is going to move in with the Firehawks, actually choosing to bomb the anti-air defenses here. Going to be paving the way for these Firehawks, or rather for these Hammerheads, as they move in. Going to be bringing that Eradicator Hexapod down to about half of its HP. And I think the Mastermind went down as well. Not sure if it managed to get away in the mix there. But Hammerhead's going to be going down. It looks like they're going to be going for the snipes on the power, realizing how many base defenses are online. The power is going to be so crucial here for OneVISION to keep online, but it looks like Death-Sentence is going to move for the slow roll to victory here, as I don't think OneVISION has managed to... No, he did manage to rebuild his drone platform, so he does have the ability to replace these structures. Going to be getting those power back online. And it looks like Death-Sentence has managed to claim himself a potential expansion here if he manages to play his cards right. However, OneVISION does have a fair bit of eco here to collect for himself. Rift Generator only about 3 minutes away from ticking down. Not sure what he's going to be looking to use that on. Could potentially be looking to use this on the clumped up infrastructure here of Death-Sentence, or be looking to maybe punch that Marv in the mouth for a follow-up attack here from the Hexpod. However, the Hexpod is pretty heavily damaged here. Does need to stick close to the warp chasm, or otherwise get out some of those Corruptors to keep it alive. However, we do have our Annihilator Tripod running in, going to be looking to go for the EMP. Manages to get the EMP on the Marv. Lots of damage coming down on that Marv. Is it going to be enough? Eradicator Hexpod trying to focus down the Hammerheads, as he knows that that's the majority of the damage. However, the majority of the Hammerheads have gone down. Only 4 Hammerheads are left. Marv is down to less than half of its HP, down to about a third of its HP at the moment. Hexpod continuing to poke away on it. EMP grenades coming in from Descent. It's going to be locking down a power plant as well as the Eradicator Hexpod. Follow-up EMP is going to be locking that down. Marv is trying desperately to focus this down. It looks like he should be able to get in range. I don't think the phase field has come off of cooldown just yet, and OneVISION is going to be struggling here. Repeat EMPs, manages to take down the Eradicator Hexapod, and now the bombing runs coming in from the Firehawks. Managed to drop the drone platform down very low on HP, and that's going to be it. OneVISION has been defeated, and Death Sentence comes through victorious. Pretty solid game there Was a little bit campy for the time being, rather for a stretch of time there, as we can see, actually, whoa, let's see. Okay, so structures, we do see the flat line there. At first, I thought that was resources. I was like, whoa, the flat line on resources would not be good. But that is, in fact, structures. That was when he lost his drone platform. Managed to get that back online, but a little bit too late. But Death-Sentence, you can see he out-ecoed OneVISION. That's the part that blows my mind. He was long-distance harvesting that whole time, and it was just the hammerhead threat on the map that just couldn't be matched by OneVISION. He just didn't have any feasible way of dealing with those guys in a mobile capacity. So once he spread his base out, he really needed to play defense, and that put him in a bad position. So despite not having any artillery on a map that is pretty artillery heavy, Death-Sentence manages to come through with the victory by going with those heavy Firehawks and managing to bomb OneVISION out of the game. Some great micro choices from Death-Sentence to lock down the Hexpod when and where he could, and got the EMP control center to make sure to get that first EMP down on it. So very solid game. Congratulations to Death-Sentence for taking home the victory. And like I said at the beginning of the video, in case you guys missed it, there will be brand new videos every Tuesday and Thursday for the foreseeable future. Hopefully I can commit to that schedule, but we will see. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.